Okay, and welcome to this afternoon's Link for Growth. Welcome to this afternoon's Link for Growth TV show for Southwest Hearts. As usual, you can contact us on at L4G SW Herts. That's at L4G SW Herts. We've got a great show lined up this week. As Neil is away, I'm going to be doing the sports, so that will be interesting. Catherine has got Baldwin 3 saving the red line and a whole lot of other local news. Tania is talking about all the charity news and local events, and last week's special guest was Francis McFleur of the Dojo, talking about a program of events he's planning for this week. And we'll be hearing from Francis and some of the participants of this course a bit later on today, so you can probably see them there. And finally, as Chris will not be, and finally Chris won't be appearing because he's in Hungary. Yes! Cheers all around. As I said, you can contact us on Link for Growth, L4G SW Herts on Twitter. And Catherine, you've got lots of local news from us, and I gather something a bit different for the restaurant review this week.
Absolutely, yes. I'm reporting on Dorothy, our elected Watford mayor, and her latest appointment, which has been all over the news. I'm also reporting on the Save the Red Line pub campaign with the involvement of Watford's MP. And yes, I have a review with a difference later on, so stay tuned.
Okay, that's great. As Neil's away, I'll be passing on Neil's views and thoughts and comments about the Watford games he's seen this past week and what his prediction will be for this week's game at Manchester City. I'll also be reporting on how Kings Langley FC got on last week. In addition to that, we've got Tania with us in her new office. Tania, can you unmute, please?
Yes. Sorry. Here I am. Hello. You unmuted me. I'm back. Hello. Yes. Hi. Sorry. I am in my new office. And
what are you going to tell us about this week?
So I'm going to talk to you about the air ambulance, who are raising money with a very red campaign, which in my new office here goes very well. I'm going to talk to you about some safety stuff that's going on down in South Oxley, some brilliant barn things, some Crocsfest stuff. All of the bands have been announced for Crocsfest and they look brilliant, fantastic. Some transition stuff, big screen stuff, and an open day at a local farm. It's going to be great.
Okay, that sounds really good. And last week, special guest was Francis McFleur of the Dojo. He was talking about the program of events he's running this week as part of the Erasmus funding program from the EU. And Francis, you've got some of the people who've spent the week with you. Perhaps you'd like to introduce them to us.
Yes, hi everybody. My name is Francis. I'm here with my friends, new friends. Hello. They've just been taking part in the Erasmus program that we've organised all together as well. We're from the dojo.org.uk, so everybody just say hello.
Hello, I'm Myra from Greece.
Kalimera, I'm Dimitris from Greece.
Hello, my name's Neve and I'm from the UK.
Hello, my name is Elvis, I'm from Latvia.
Hello, my name is Krista, I'm from Estonia.
So here we are.
Okay, well it sounds a pretty cosmopolitan bunch and we look forward to hearing their review of your activities in the week in a moment or two. But first of all, let's just very briefly talk about some of the Link for Growth events that have happened in the past week. There was, as usual, quite a full program of events. Some of the events were not as perhaps well attended as normal, but that I think is normal for the bank holiday kind of pre-week. And but it was a good opportunity to speak to some people. Last night, Neil and I had a long discussion about Watford, hence me being able to report on his comments and views on Watford. And yesterday, Jean Flower and David Sawyer, both from Link for Growth Southwest Hearts, accompanied me to the Link for Growth in St Albans yesterday morning, where we met some fascinating people, including one or two people who helped generate some really interesting conversations, and one of them who called himself the Happiness Doctor. Maybe, Tanya, that's a nom de plume that you could adopt at some point.
Yes, and a happiness doctor. That sounds fabulous. Yeah, it sounds really good, Diane. Happy to do that.
Okay, well, maybe if he hasn't copyrighted it, maybe there's an opportunity for you.
It's mine!
Right, okay. As I said, first of all, let's start talking about the Erasmus program and Francis's work for the dojo. Francis. Oh, he's disappeared. Hello, Francis. Hi, Francis.
Hi.
Hi. Glad you could join us. Okay, so how do you think it's gone this week? And perhaps you could just remind us very briefly of what the Erasmus program and the dojo are doing for the Erasmus program.
The Erasmus project is a program sponsored by the European Union to youth exchange and non-formal learning, vocational learning activities. And what we've done is we have organized a project which brings in young people from across Europe. In this particular one, the Together as One project has participants from 6 countries: Greece, Croatia, Czech Republic, Latvia, Estonia, and the UK. So I'm going to step out and let the young people just tell you what they've been doing. So does anybody step up?
Okay, well, yeah, start in the order that you gave me all the names. So I think that was Mija, was it?
Hello.
Hi.
I'm the group leader of the Greek team. We're so happy to be here. It's been amazing.
Okay, what have you learned this week?
Well, we've done some classes on different martial arts like Tai Chi and Karate. And come on, you're picking on me. So most of all, we were socializing and learning how to work in different groups each time and dealing with different community problems, just discuss various social issues.
Okay, that's great. And Christian, what did you think of the week? And what have you learned most from the week?
Krista.
Repeat the question, please.
Yeah, what have you learned most from the week? What have you enjoyed most from the week?
I've enjoyed martial arts a lot, and I like all the British people because they're so friendly.
Okay. Good. Okay. So perhaps I could have one of the. Was it Ellis? One of the. Elise?
The president.
Sorry, if I get your names wrong, I do apologise beforehand. So what have you found to be the most interesting part of the week?
Say it again? Yeah, please.
What have you found to be the most interesting part of the week?
What have you found to be the most interesting part of the week?
The interesting part for me is getting to know other cultures, listening what they have to say about their culture. So just experience the other culture characteristics and something doing with that.
Okay. So what have you learned? Okay, I know you've done some karate and other martial arts, but what have you learned from doing these skills? What other things have you learned? I mean, have you learned self-discipline? Has it improved your concentration?
Well, of course, like you said, the discipline, and I think I learned that you have to be more positive and stay more positive because from positive it comes great things. So I think the one big key for me: stay positive, think positive, look another ways to think positive, so the other doors will open for you.
Okay, well, that sounds great, and that sounds a good lesson worth learning. Is it Malia?
Neve.
Yeah.
Neve.
Yeah. Hi. Hi. What? Have you had a good week?
Yes, yes, definitely. Really good fun.
Okay. Now, what would you recommend to make the course even better than it's been?
It's a good question.
Ooh. I think, I don't know, if they could be longer, it would be even better, because by the end of the week, you're getting on really, really well, and you really don't want to leave. So it would be good, or maybe to have like some kind of follow-on project so that we could all see each other again, because we're all going back to like different countries, and it would be really good to try and keep in contact.
Okay. So when does the course actually end?
On Tuesday.
Tuesday.
You're just over halfway through now.
Well, yes, about halfway through. But tomorrow we have an intercultural evening where everybody gets to bring their food, their dance, some of the countries, and we sample it. And basically, if you're not there, you're missing out. Basically, that's what it is. Yeah, you're missing out. Yeah. So, any other?
Well, it sounds delightful. It sounds as if everyone's learnt a lot, and they're learning a lot of discipline, as well as some of the martial arts skills, which I know was something you focused on last week, Francis.
Yes, I mean, just because we're actually here at Radio Decorum. We've just done an interview over the radio. They've all had a chance to speak, and one of the questions they asked me was, why did I choose martial arts? And the explanation I gave is that basically the company is called the dojo, and the dojo in Japan means hall, where you go for training. And the essence of the whole issue, or the essence of the whole dynamics, is that there's a lot more to learn from the dojo when you go and learn martial arts. So that's the martial arts is there, but it's there as a metaphor for learning different things: leadership, cultural diversity. I mean, we learned about how by doing the karate, we learned about the Japanese culture. By doing kickboxing, we learned about the Thai culture. By doing Tai Chi, we delved into it, not in great detail. But the focus is that the martial arts can be used for a lot more teaching activity than just kicking and punching. And just to take it from a European point of view, we are looking to be much more European embracing. And one way which we're doing at the dojo is to invite young people to learn some martial arts, but that's not the key thing. The key thing is to use it as a tool to learn other things.
Okay.
Diversity, leadership, self-understanding, self-mastery.
Okay. So it's great that everyone's having such a great time. I hope that your party tomorrow goes off really well. I'm sure it will. So what are you all taking? I mean, what is the national food of Latvia, for example?
Just one more person that I didn't.
Yeah. Hello. My name's Janet.
Hi there. Sorry. So I'll ask you the same question I asked earlier. What would you do to improve the course?
What can we do to improve the course?
To improve?
Improve, yeah.
Make it better?
Yes.
Whoa! More people. Yeah, more people, more groups, more cultures. Yeah, definitely. I don't know. It's hard to say because I think it's really nice. It's hard to say what can we do better. I love people. I think it's not about like where you live or where you stay and what are the circumstances. But it's like just the altogether feeling. Yes.
Together as one.
Together as one, exactly.
And by the way, there's a dance they put together. It's been on YouTube, so find it.
If you carry on like that, Francis, we'll be talking about the Three Musketeers.
We're going to say?
Yeah, like I want to mention that thing that it's like a pleasure to be here, because in daily life you don't usually think about culture or what things makes your culture, and so yeah, in this time at this week, like we are taking time and like how to say tasks like building them. We have some different tasks which are about our culture, different culture as well, and so yeah, we can explore and we can think about it, because in daily life, yeah, we usually rush. We just go to job and then we sleep, and we don't think about it. So yeah, and here we have time about those things, and it's very.
So, would you recommend the course to other people?
Would you recommend the course to other people? I would definitely say yes. Well, basically, I already recommended because it was like I'm coming here with a friend because when I saw the project, we need to place from Greece. So I called my friend immediately. We were on vacation. I said to him, Leonidas, are you ready? Like this is the project. Like it's motivation through martial arts. Shall we go? He said, yeah. He has never ever been in a project like that before. So he said, yeah, I don't know. So I already recommended it to a friend. So like, definitely I would say so. It is like people in 1 week, you go to another country to feel another culture. You get actual valuable skills and learning that you can apply. You apply them. I mean, you have the whole package. I would definitely do.
Okay. Well, Francis, I think you've got your PR machine well oiled there.
Good, it's all good.
I think it's some great recommendations, and it's great to see so many smiling faces, which is always good to see. And we'll let us speak to you sometime in the future. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So that's very much big thank you to Francis there. You know, we've got lots of local news as usual. It's not just all international stuff here. We do deal with some of the local stuff. Catherine.
Yes.
Yesterday saw the dissolution of Parliament honours list, and I gather you've got some news of a local person.
Absolutely. I think most local people in Watford will have heard of our elected Mayor Dorothy Thornhill. Along with 45 others, she was appointed this week to be a peer. So she will tread the hallowed halls of the House of Lords. She insists that it won't interfere with the job that she's doing at the moment in Watford, and that she has no intention of getting involved in the House of Lords until she steps down as mayor. She's mayor until 2018, and she says she has something to look forward to now in her retirement. So well done, Dorothy.
Yeah, exactly. And
can I come in there and ask a question? What honour did she get in the list? I don't know if you know there, Catherine.
She's been appointed as a peer.
So I wonder what that means.
Members
Members
of the House of Lords who do not hold a position in government or key positions can sit as a peer. So the job of the House of Lords is to hold the government to account, and she thinks that the experiences that she has in the role of mayor will allow her to do that. So it's basically holding the government to account, and if they try to push something through that the majority of the peers disagree with, actually they can overturn decisions made in the House of Commons.
Very good. I heard it on the news yesterday on the radio, and they were saying that in an area of time that there's all these cutbacks, there were an awful lot of people appointed to the House of Lords. There was, I don't know, 20 odd from the Conservative Party, and
yes,
fewer from the Liberals, and fewer still from Labour. But
yes,
quite a lot.
26 from Conservatives, 11 from Liberal, and 8 Labour. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think the discussion centred around the fact that whilst there's no salary that's paid, they do claim a daily allowance for attending in the House of Lords, which can be anything up to £300.
Yes.
So it's quite a lot of money that's being allowed
to all of these people, and we've got people. I mean, you know, my personal opinion, really. You know, we've got people that are not getting home help and not getting food anymore. So,
yeah,
interesting. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt there, Diane.
It's okay, but basically, I think she's going to become a baroness, and of course, she was appointed a couple of weeks ago as the Lib Dem spokesman or spokeswoman on local government issues and the environment. So I suppose it followed that she was going to get this position. So it wasn't really a big surprise. But anyway, over the last 3 weeks, we've talked a lot about the Red Lion pub in Vicarage Road. and how the local community want to save the pub. Well, this week has also seen yet more significant support to make the pub into a community resource. Catherine, who, along with Neal, is also a keen supporter of the campaign to save the pub, reports on this week's events. Catherine.
Absolutely, yeah. Both Neal and I and Chris were all at the first meeting of organisers who want to see something happening about saving the Red Lion pub. The issue basically is that somebody has bought it, and at the moment they could turn it into something else. So it could be flats, it could be a shop, it could be something else. What's happened is that as an organisation which is headed by Watford Camera Group, are leading us in the way. Camera nationally have applied for a number of ACVs. This is I can't remember the actual thing, but it's basically saying that it's an asset of community value. So if a pub becomes an asset of community value, it has to stay as a pub, and it can't be turned into anything else. This is what we've applied for through the council. We're waiting to hear if that actually goes through. If it does, we're assured that there is a lot of support within the council chambers for keeping it as an asset of community value. If it goes through, then it means that the current owner can't turn it into anything else. So he can't set it off as a shop, he can't develop it as flats, and this is what we're keen to try and push through. So at the moment there's a lot of support. There's a growing number of people who are interested in helping actively. There's been chats with Richard Harrington this week, who has agreed to help, and what he's going to do is write to the Secretary of State in question to try to get it passed as a Grade 2 listing building, which will also help with a preservation order to it. So yeah, there's lots of things going on. We've got hopefully should be questionnaires going out to the local residents around the area, around Vicarage Road, to have a conversation within the community about how they would like to see the pub being run, in terms of not just being a pub for drinking in the evening, but perhaps a community hub of some sort as well. So somewhere for mothers and toddlers to go during the day, somewhere to go for a coffee, for people visiting people at the hospital to pop in and have a drink and a sit down. So there's lots of talk going on at the moment. There is a Facebook community group that's up and running about it. So there's lots of details floating around.
Okay, that's great. But it's not unprecedented for a pub to be listed, is it? And you go to a Grade 2 listing, but again, the BBC have just announced that there's been 30-odd pubs, is it, listed throughout the country?
Yeah, there's been 20 new pubs across England that have just been listed as Grade 2 status, which I think across the country brings the total to something like 95. So Camera have vigilance about them at the moment, where they're heading a lot of these campaigns, and there's a lot of support for having a real say in what's preserved as historic within local communities. So there's a lot of hope around this campaign and around this project, that actually, with so many precedents already in place, that actually we could see some success. But it's too early to tell at the moment. I will keep you posted.
Okay. The other thing is that the other news is, I should say, is that the independent local big news is that the local government boundary commission for England and Wales are asking people across Watford to comment on its draft proposals for new council ward boundaries. And you've got the details, and perhaps you could explain why this is also significant.
Yeah, there's a public consultation which ends on the 19th of October. So there are ways to. You basically got to look on the website. I can't see that there's anything going through people's doors at all. So there's websites which I'll post up the links afterwards, where you can comment on what you think. The idea is, what they want to do is to make sure that each councillor represents around the same number of people, so that everyone's vote in the council elections is worth the same no matter where you live. So yeah, the consultation is open to anyone who wants to have their say on the new council wards, ward boundaries and ward names across Watford.
Okay, and you'll be coming back with some more news about from Southwest Herts, sorry, Three Rivers and Hertsmere a bit later. But Tania, could you tell us about the flying ambulance, please? Tania, hello. Oh, we seem to have lost Tania. Is she back? No, we seem to have lost Tania.
She's popped a note up on the comments that her power supply is a bit dodgy, so maybe we've just lost her for a moment.
That's why I was going off to her next, actually. Oh, she's disappeared. Okay, well, in that case, Catherine, we'll carry on.
Okay.
If you want to be a counsellor in the, that kind of lifestyle suits you, you can dip your toe by becoming a local counsellor in Sarah, I gather.
Yes. Notice is hereby given that a casual vacancy has arisen in the office of councillor for the parish council. So this is the parish of Sarrat. If by September the 10th a request for an election to fill said vacancy is made in writing to the return officer at the address below, and I'll post this up afterwards, by 10 electors for the said parish, an election will be held to fill the said vacancy. So if you fancy being a parish councillor in Sarrat, there is a post vacant at the moment. Step forward, anybody who wishes to fill the challenge.
Yeah, exactly. And it's quite interesting that that sort of thing, you don't expect to see that kind of notice out there, do you?
Oh, really? It's been unusual.
Yes. The other thing is, we talked recently about how Watford are installing hi-fi along the Watford High Street and everything, Watford Borough Council that is, but they're not the only local council trying to raise or improve its digital game, are they?
Absolutely. Hertsmere is hot on their heels with Instagram, which is an interesting one, because anybody who uses Instagram will know that it's a very visual type of social media. Obviously, you can comment and share and follow and all the rest of it as well, but a lot of it is very visual. So they're busy happy snapping at the moment in and around the borough, and taking some pretty fabulous pictures of their parks that have recently received prestigious Green Flag Awards. So if you want to follow Hertsmere Borough Council on Instagram, you literally just download the app if you don't have it already, and follow them on Hertsmere BC and see what they have to say.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really quite unusual for them to be, for council, I think, to be involved in Instagram. I'm not aware of Watford or Three Rivers being involved in that scheme.
No, not at all. As I say, I mean, they have a presence and they have an awareness. Certainly on Twitter, I've seen Watford Borough Council flying around, but no, it's a bit of an unusual one. But maybe they'll all follow suit. Who knows?
Who knows? We'll have to see what's happening there, but and how it all pans out in the future, won't we? But it is very much a case of wait and see, and see how these things happening. I'm just looking down because I've just got a message from Tania saying that the laptop has died, so I think it's going to be you and I for the time being.
Okay, me and thee then, Diane.
Me and thee. So I'm going to talk about Herts ambulance and their Go Red program, which happens on the 21st to the 27th of September. What they want to do is their ambulance is painted a bright red, and it's been flying around the county since 2008, and they're now asking for people to celebrate this during National Air Ambulance Week to help raise funds to save the helicopter. Now, you might say, why isn't it NHS or anything? But a lot of air ambulances in the UK are self-financed on a charitable basis. They're not actually part of the NHS, although they integrate with it. So what they're asking you to do is have a red themed dinner party, or red, wear red clothing, red themed cake sale with strawberry sponges and red iced fairy cakes and all that sort of stuff. And indeed, if you can come up with your own ideas, then that's great. And they're also asking people to display posters and everything. More information can be found on their website, and we'll put a link to that afterwards. The other thing is the Sender holding a fire safety awareness course down in South Oxley. The first one was today, but they are holding several others. And it's all about protecting yourself and staying safe in the property that you own. So the topic for next week is scams and rogue traders, and it's all about today was about preventing fire. 2 weeks today, sorry, it's all about preventing rogue traders and scammers from ripping you off, basically. And there's advice from a local trading standards officer, and that's down at the Send Step Up building between 12 noon and 4 in South Oxley Drive. Send a charity that I know quite well because I've done some voluntary work with them, and they're a super charity, and they deserve every success they can get with that sort of scheme and that kind of information out there. So the other thing that's happening this week is if you're interested in a tour of if you're interested in architecture and everything, you can tour the Great Barn at Croxley Green, and the details for that are available on Three Rivers District Council website. Tomorrow is, or sorry, 29th, which is tomorrow, isn't it, Catherine?
It is, yeah, 29th of August, 26th of September, and the 31st of October.
That's great, and it starts at 10:45.
Yes, tour starts at 11, that's right.
Yeah, with a 10 to 15 minute walk across the fields to the barn. So it sounds like a Wellington boot job.
Given the weather that we've had this week, I would wear wellies anyway, even if it's not raining.
Actually, given the weather this week, maybe it should be waders. And a couple of weeks ago, you can all do something that Chris Ogle failed to do when he visited Casperbury Farm the other week, and that's actually get in. They're holding a public open day tomorrow on Bank Holiday Monday from 10 till 5. It's located at the southern end of the local nature reserve between the Gate Avenue and the Gate Bank, so it's right down by the Grand Union Canal. It's full of rare breeds on their open day. I know they've got pelicans there, but apparently they've got meerkats and all sorts of other animals there. And the cost is £4.10 if you're age 6 or over, or if you're under 5, you can get in for free. So I think it would be a great opportunity there to find out more about some of the wild and exotic animals from around the world. As I said, it's unusual to see pelicans in Hertfordshire, as we saw with Chris's video from there the other week. If you're into art and photography, then this week sees both Watford and Bushy Art Society and Watford Camera Club's meeting. The Art Society meet on Tuesday evening at 7:30 at the Girls' Grammar School. Cost is £4 for non-members, and it's free to members. And it's this week this month's demonstration is by Glynis Barnes-Mellish, and she's going to be talking about watercolours. I've attended not some of her demonstrations, but some of the other demonstrations that the Watford and Bushy Art Society hold, and they are fabulous. They really are. They're very informative. They are. Some of the artists who come and display their work and demonstrate their work is an outstanding standard. The other thing is this Thursday sees Watford Camera Club starting off their winter season after the summer break. They meet at the Friends Meeting House in Church Road at 7:30, and the full programme of events can be seen on their website. Again, we'll put details and links up at the end of the show. Next week sees the Crockfest Festival, and you will have to bear with me for a moment unless Catherine's got the link to all of the...
You mean unless Catherine's got a link of all the bands who are appearing at Crockfest this year? Yes, Catherine does. Okay, bands announced are VP, The Involved, Polka Dots, Mean Steed, The Nash Villains, Streetcar 9, Fivefold Kiss, The Valens, Tailgater, and the Turner Brothers. There's some familiar names there. I know some bands have performed there before, and obviously some new ones as well. They'll be mainly local around either the Watford, Croxley Green area, or certainly North London area. But Croxfest is the 5th of September, 12 noon till 8 p.m. on the Green in Croxley. Go, have a fab day. It's a family fun day. It's very much a family orientated day. People take their picnics and something to eat and drink and have a fabulous day.
Okay, and hopefully it'll be as well supported as the big screen was, which had over about 4,000 attendees apparently over 4 days. So that's pretty good going, I think.
That's amazing, actually. Yeah, we went on the Saturday evening. The People's Choice film was Dirty Dancing, so obviously we were there. I think it was my choice more than Nick's, but he enjoyed it. But it was a fabulous evening, beautiful sunny weather, and it was packed out. Everybody really enjoyed it, and everybody went ooh and ah in all the right places because we all know the words.
Yeah, I know. It's one of the things of seeing a film outside on a nice summer's evening. Somehow it's totally different to watching a film inside in a cinema, isn't it? The experience is different.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a real camaraderie to it. It's very much you feel a part of the whole thing. It's a great experience. Look forward to doing it again next year.
Okay, that's great. As you may know, many of the people associated with Link for Growth have talked about Transition Town Watford. Well, you may or may not know that there's an organisation called Abbots in Transition, which is much further along the road of trying to make Abbots Langley into a greener place. They are having a food, plant and gifts market at the Henderson Hall on the 12th of September. The reason why we're mentioning it now is that apparently they still have a few stalls available, and you could get a stall by contacting Anne Richardson on 07888 723 594. Again, we'll put those details up on the link afterwards. Transition Town is all about trying to make places greener, more sustainable. So it's very much in that kind of link of thing, in that kind of green but non-political way of trying to make the economy more sustainable and more locally dependent, which I think is something that is good for all local towns.
Absolutely. I was going to say, in the same vein, talking about climate change, there is going to be the Watford People's Climate March, which is going to be on Sunday, November the 29th. There's already various posts flying about it on social media. Again, I'll put the link up afterwards, but there will be a march in Watford gathering everybody who has any concerns about climate change and how we treat our environment. It's definitely worth looking up.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing that's going on this forthcoming week, actually, the 4th and 5th of September, but the 5th is already sold out, is if you're interested in horses and carriages and riders and all that sort of thing, there's a heritage horse and carriage ride taking place in Castleberry Park on Friday and Saturday. As I said, Saturday's already filled out, but there will be some sort of cost, but you should contact Debbie Brady at Watford Borough Council to get details, and she will tell you all more about those details. Again, we'll put her email and phone number up on our page, and so that if you are interested in horses, you can go along and perhaps take part and find out an awful lot more.
Excellent. Whilst we're still on horses and green spaces, I was going to say there is another opportunity to quiz local councillors excuse me, on restoration works planned for Castleberry Park. There was an opportunity last Saturday. If you didn't get to see them, because it was quite busy in Castleberry Park last Saturday with the Hearts Pride Festival, there will be another opportunity on Thursday, September the 3rd, between 10 and 4. There will be councillors around the paddling pools area where you can go and ask them anything you like about the restoration works, what it's all about, what's happening and why.
Okay, and before Neal left for the weekend, we had a chance to chat about what's happened at Watford in the past week. His views on the 0-0 draw with Southampton last Sunday was that it was a much better game than was portrayed on the local and national press. He felt that Watford had the better of the game and that they should have scored as they had the two best chances of the game, and Southampton never threatened the Watford goal, in his opinion. So he was actually disappointed it was 0-0. He thought it should have been better. The defeat to Preston in the League Cup on Tuesday he thought was a big disappointment, as many of the players involved were trying to impress the manager and to become to get kind of promoted, because it was very much a reserve team or fringe players who took part in the game, to try to get them motivated and promote themselves to first team starters. So that has kind of only added to the speculation as to who's going to stay and who's going to go, because as Neal explained the other week, Watford only allowed 17 foreign players over 23 in their squad, and currently they have 21 or 22. He also said that tomorrow's game in Manchester City, he's predicting that Watford will lose 1-0. He reckons that the defence that Watford have now got is up to Premier League standards, but they're not creating enough chances to score enough goals, so they need a bit more drive going forward to start scoring these goals and become a potential force in the Premier League. And he's still predicting after 3 games that Watford will end up mid-table, which is encouraging. The other team that we kind of mention a lot is Kings Langley, and unfortunately they also lost. It sounds a bit of a nightmare, actually. They lost 2-1 to Royston Town last Saturday. And Kings Langley lost a player who injured himself in the warm-up, which is before the game even started. And then they lost 2 further players injured before half-time. And to add to the half of woe, a Kings Langley player scored an own goal also in the first half. And then both teams scored a goal in the second half, which is obviously why it's 2-1. Tomorrow they play Russian and Diamonds with a 3 o'clock kickoff at home. And so hopefully that will be a good game. And, do turn up if you're a football fan and want to support a local team, especially as Watford are playing away in Manchester. As usual, we've got a nearly full programme of Link for Growth events planned for the week ahead. There's nothing on Monday because of the bank holiday, and there'll be nothing tomorrow either because Chris, Alex and I are again all away this week. But on Wednesday we have the Link for Growth coffee at Regis on Clarendon Road in Watford, which starts at 10 o'clock and goes on to 11:30. This is usually a very well attended event. It's a great opportunity to meet people around the table in slightly more formal tradition and location some of the other Link for Growth events take place in. There is anything between, in the past couple of months, there's always been between sort of 10 and 20 people attending these events. It's a great opportunity to find out what Link for Growth is, to build up contacts, to find out how you can help the community. We get representatives from both community and from business organisations, and everyone is busy sharing information and exchange notes and trying to help each other along, which is a fabulous thing. Then on Thursday we've got Link for Coffee in Carpenter's Park again. This is, I think, the 3rd time this event has taken place. It's being held at the Perk Cafe, which is on the parade in Carpenter's Park. This event starts at 9:30 and goes on till 11, so it starts slightly earlier than our usual events. And on Friday we have the CSI lunch, which is taking place from 12 till 2 at Scotsbridge Mill in Rickmansworth. And this is an event that Catherine and I usually both attend and usually find it of great value, don't we?
It's very, very enjoyable. It includes lunch. Why wouldn't it be enjoyable? No, it's usually very well attended, and there's a good mix of people. You know, we often get some new faces there, and then faces that crop up that haven't been for a few months, so it's good to catch up. But yeah, it's a lovely event.
Okay, and speaking of restaurants and meals and lunches and everything, Catherine, you've got a review with a difference for us this week.
I have, yes. Well, I thought, as I've already done Watford Coliseum, I thought it was only fair to do Watford Palace Theatre this week. They've got a little cafe. Well, if anybody doesn't know, Watford Palace Theatre is right in the centre of Watford. You can't really miss it. You can access it via car parks and whatever if you're driving, or if you're walking down a high street, turn into what is the end of Clarendon Road. It's a fabulous theatre. It's been restored beautifully in recent times, and it's a great resource for not just entertainment, but a meeting place, and very much a thriving community hub. The cafe that they have there is a lovely little cafe. Very, very friendly. They've got a good range of snacks. I wouldn't necessarily say you would go there for a three-course meal, but certainly a pre-theatre snack and a drink, intervals or whatever. It's a lovely place to be. They've recently announced a partnership with Banana Tree Restaurant in Watford, which is really interesting. So they're offering pre and post theatre menus for just £12.50. Obviously in collaboration with Watford Palace Theatre. So it'd be worth having a chat with them about that and seeing what the offer actually involves. But Palace Theatre Watford has been going for many, many years. It's, like I said, a fabulous resource, not just for theatre, which of course is what it's predominantly known for, a whole range of you know, dramas, thrillers, comedies, all the rest of it over the years. Coming up in the next few weeks, we have Jane Wenham and the Witch of Walkern, which is a bit of a mouthful to say, worth finding out more about that. But there's lots of things going on. Next week, for instance, we've got Tales from Vicarage, Tales from the Vicarage, which is basically an evening for anybody who's a Watford football supporter. Tales from Vicarage returns the Palace Theatre following two previous sellout events in 2014. This is the launch night for the new book in the series, Tales from the Vicarage Volume 4, and will be the first opportunity to get your hands on it. It's a must-read for any Watford supporter. With every ticket, there is a new book included. Bargain. The night will feature guest appearances from a selection of Watford players, former Watford players and managers. So it sounds like a fabulous evening. That's on the 6th of September. But there's a whole load of... Go on, sorry.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I know that Neal was looking forward to that one.
Yes, I'm going to say it'll be popular, so if you're interested in going, get your tickets. But there's lots and lots of other stuff going on. I'm interested, actually, to see that there's comedians performing at the theatre. I didn't know that they had comedians there, as well as at the Coliseum. So we've got Andy Parsons coming, we've got Lee Nelson, Ruby Wax and Josh Widdicombe all coming as part of their latest comedy tours. So there really is something for everyone there. There's obviously they do film as well. So the next film coming up is tomorrow night, which is Boy Choir. I can recommend it. I saw it recently. It's a fabulous film of an orphan with a fantastic singing ability, starring Dustin Hoffman and Kathy Bates. Fabulous. Go see it. And the theatre is a really nice place to watch a film. Again, it's quite a homely sort of environment, and you feel quite involved with it. But yeah, there's lots of things going on.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Les Mis there a few years ago now, and you're right, it is different again to seeing it in a normal cinema. It's a different experience. And of course, yeah, it's only, what, 5 years ago it was refurbished, although it looks quite an old building on the outside. It's got all the modern comforts inside.
Absolutely, yeah, it is a very comfortable building. It's beautifully laid out inside now, and yeah, it really is a good night out. So there's theatre, there's film, there's delayed live shows from West End performances as well. They're showing Othello on Sunday evening, which is a delayed live show from the Royal Shakespeare Company. So there's those sort of things. There's also kids events that go on as well. There's lots of kids acting workshops and things like that that go on, especially during the summer months. So so go along and you know, see what the program has and see what attracts you. But there really is something for everybody there.
Okay, well, on that note, I think it's time to say farewell. And for us, it's been a somewhat chaotic show, for which apologies, but you know, technical gremlins do interfere from time to time, and it's unfortunate, but it does happen from, as I said, from time to time. Indeed, I was listening to the BBC this morning, and they had something similar happen. But they're perhaps a bit more adept at covering it up than we are.
They just practice their mistakes more, that's all it is.
Exactly. That was going to be my point. Anyway, on that note, we shall say cheerio.
Cheerio. See you soon.
See you soon. Bye-bye.